And we're back with another Ram film review.
I am Randall. This is my amazing, awesome friend Mac. And then accompanying us once again for the comeback, the return of, 3 Instagram accounts that I remember, right? It's Hybrid Thrifting, Hybrid Tile, and then the personal, which stays personal unless you're a personal friend. This is the amazing, awesome, and incredible Ellie, who, if you don't know, is quite the artist and creator herself. So go check out Hybrid Tile. She does incredible work with mosaic tiles. I've said it plenty of times, but I love repeating it because it is great work. And she is back here to join us for a holiday review. Maybe the last review before Christmas. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
Holiday
Depends
special.
on what happens with Mac. If we end up doing another one before.
It all falls in these hands.
We'll figure that out later. But just in case, it may be the last one prior to Navidad. So we are back once again. And we started with something amazing.
Yeah, one of Randall's choices.
Yeah. This occurred because of a live that I was doing solo, just talking about the upcoming giveaway and all that kind of stuff. And then Merle jumped into the chat and we started talking about different holiday movies. You jumped into that chat too, right? When I was at that time?
Yes.
Yeah. So we started mentioning different holiday movies that we could possibly do leading to Christmas and all that. And I mentioned I would want to do something Krampus-like. And that led to me looking up and researching Krampus movies. Because I wouldn't want to do the movie that's actually good. I would want to try and find something that's out there. You know, the B movies, which is, one of my favorite things to enjoy and watch. So we ended up finding Mother Krampus. And might I say, the cover art immediately told me, we need to watch this movie.
Yeah, the cover art is amazing. It's not your typical Krampus-like cover. It's just an old lady with a Santa outfit and an axe. That sold it for me. And I didn't hesitate. I was like, yeah, I'm down for it.
Yep. It's incredible. And it's incredibly misleading.
There's a lot of misleading through this whole entire process that we're about to go through right now. But the main plot behind Mother Krampus is that there is a child murderer 25 years ago that the town decided upon themselves to go ahead and string up, which would be the best way for me to place that.
Literally.
String her up. So that's what they did because they all agreed and felt she was the child murderer. With no trial, they did this.
No police.
Nothing.
No detective work. No nothing. Just all of them together. You know what? I think she's the one that did it. She's kind of weird. She's kind of eccentric. She speaks German.
She's an orphan.
She's an orphan. She's probably the one that did it.
So got little hints of Freddy Krueger. The parents take into their hands.
Yeah.
The child killer, murderer, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So had a little bit of sprinkles on Elm Street. The original title for this film I found out was 12 Days of Christmas. It wasn't considered Mother Krampus. No. After production, I think it came out in the U.S. and UK. They retitled it to Mother Krampus. That's why there's a scene with the number 12 on it, on the door. But yeah, they don't show 12 Days of Christmas. But
so they left that in there even though the title changed?
Yeah, it was after the movie was done and everything. They changed it from 12 Days of Christmas to Mother Krampus.
Little Easter eggs for people to find out if they want to do enough research like we did.
They didn't make the movie better or worse. It's just little like I said,
little
Easter
tidbits of information. Yeah. So ultimately, when the lady that's getting strung up for killing children is up there, she starts apparently chanting some kind of witchy-like spell, calling upon the spirit of Frau Perchet, which ends up being the female version of Krampus by folklore. She was a woman back in what year?
1921. Oh, actually, no. 21.
Frau Perchat. So, she was also a child murderer who would kill kids that were undisciplined and lazy. Because, lazy is a sin that deserves death.
Well, you have to think about it, because maybe they would consider laziness as someone being, suffering from sloth. And from that deadly sin.
1882.
1882?
1921 is when they hung her. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wait, hung
Molly.
Molly,
yeah. Wait.
That was the character that they hung up.
In this movie?
Yeah.
But how could it be 1921?
It was a comparison 1921, 1982.
Yeah. Oh, 1992 was when they strung her up.
So 1921.
So I think 1921 was when a first set of murders happened.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, because there's no way. Because
19...
then all those people probably would have been a lot older.
Alright.
Like, the sister would not have looked like a 28-year-old.
True.
Concept of time is very vague in this movie. We don't know how old almost anyone is.
No, everything is kind of just weirdly placed. But yeah, so there's a chant for Frau Perchat. Some believe that it happened, some don't believe that it happened.
Oh, Molly, so that you know that she's the character that Randall was talking about in the beginning, who was suspected to be the child killer.
Yeah.
That everyone in the town decided, oh yeah, she's the one that killed all the kids.
Yeah, we're not discussing the drug consumption.
What's up, Rocky?
Not that type of Molly.
So, we reached the point where kids start disappearing again. Then the family that was... all the people that were a part of that original hanging of Molly gather at the church with the... What would she be, a priest?
I considered her a pastor.
Okay, pastor. So the pastor lady that runs the church apparently was a part of this too.
Yeah. In the flashback, she was just there, like she's the one that did it.
Yep. And they gather and start discussing it. Half believe it, half don't, type of situation. But while kids are still disappearing. Now, one of my favorite things about this.
This is first La Llorona.
No.
Actually, no.
Not to me. It was actually pretty good.
This was actually a lot better than La Llorona, honestly.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about this movie, and Ellie found in one of the reviews that somebody was talking about that they enjoyed it for one specific reason, and it was watching it with friends. Made it better because you can throw in like your own little like humor to it. I've already talked about before how much I like MST3K, and it gives that kind of vibe when you start enjoying movies with friends like that. And one of the things that the Mother Krampus character in this movie uses is candy. And every time the candy came about, Ellie would just chime in the,
"Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy."
So we had our nice little James Woodsian references from Family Guy. So all those kind of things that made this movie a little bit better. But the Mother Krampus character used a lot of child abductor tactics to steal kids, which was, everything had like a weird combination of usage, right? Like, they gave her a vibe and she kept on saying, "I'm going to protect the kids." But then she kept on using like abductor tactics.
Come here.
Yeah, the come heres, the demonic laughter, and then candy to attract one kid.
Having a small animal to attract another child, like
caressing a bully that was probably entering his prepubescent stages.
Oh my God, that was such a weird thing.
Hypnotizing him? But yeah, that scene of the church in the beginning.
Rocky said the Santa Claus review is so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, watch the movie, man.
Yeah, it will not be as funny.
So in the beginning, when she's luring the kid with the candy, it was like those hard candies, like abuelas use, like grandmas.
Yeah.
So she had like this
butterscotch.
Yeah. So she was like more like a grandma-ish type protecting kids.
Yeah.
It's
Mother Krampus came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
But it will not make you feel that way. You would think that it came out in 2007 by the intro of the movie.
Oh, yeah, the title
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah, it seemed like a very outdated process when it comes into the intro, but everything else, everything else kind of felt like it was more modern when it came to through the movie.
You guys don't understand. They had a narrator in the beginning of the movie reading out the text.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of awkwardness with that. But it was just so much weird. It was so much weird. So, Ellie said, the movie came out in 2017. It was written by Scott Jeffrey and James Class, and directed by James Class also. All the actors British, so it gave a UK vibe.
They didn't do that. Like they did slightly better than the kids' acting. Like acting was horrible.
There was a lot of spotty acting.
No emotion. Like
a lot of spotty acting. Yeah,
dry,
very low energy.
Dry. Yeah.
The only thing that makes up for it really was the violence in it, like the gory parts.
Well, the violent parts that we actually were able to see were good because there was a lot of stuff that would happen off scene that you're just there like.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, the makeup on the Mother Krampus.
Was decent. Yeah. I mean, we're all used to the whole actual Krampus look,
Yeah, horns and all that.
Yeah, creature-like. She was just like, it looked like an old hag, probably homeless lady, just.
And she did not have the Santa suit.
Yeah, and she had
from the cover.
Black teeth painted on, nails were kind of like half drawn.
Yeah.
But they worked with what I guess they had.
But
which is bad.
Shout out to Tara McGowan, who is the actress for Frau Percher, the Mother Krampus character, for having on her Instagram bio that she is the mother of all Krampuses.
It's fantastic.
I hope it stays that way. I hope they don't make more.
Yo, for real.
I mean, well, technically they did make one more, but that other one doesn't relate to this one at all. But yet it's still called Mother Krampus 2.
Yep. That one also had a name change. Like, there's a lot of very vague information about this movie universe that we don't know about. But we have to assume that... that's something else that I felt. I felt like there was a lot of stuff that they just gave out certain amount of information just to be okay for the moment, but not really so much else was explained.
Agreed.
Yeah, which confuses a lot.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it was a lot of vagueness, a lot of empty dialogue. They try to base themselves a lot on people lying to each other. They use that a lot as plot points.
Yeah, saying that everything that happened was a legend, or
well, the urban myth thing, and then the inner family situations. Even the kids, like everyone was kind of just lying to each other at every spot. Like it starts with a lie, like, yo, your dad's not gonna be able to make it. He just got busy. And, not saying like he got busy inside another woman. A lot of things like that.
And then the little girl going behind her mom's bag, inviting the dad over, and then he decides to bring the other woman. It's so awkward.
Yeah.
And also, too, the actors playing certain roles, they either looked too young or too old for that specific role, so that also confused me, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure it wasn't supposed to, like, be that way, but, like, the mom character looked like she could have been, like, in, like, her mid to late 30s or maybe in her 40s, while her, I guess, now ex-husband looked like he couldn't have been more than, like...
25, maybe?
Yeah, like 25, 28 of pushing it.
Yeah.
and
which I mean, I know age gap relationships, there's a thing, but
but with the way that the dialogue made it out to seem, and with the age that their daughter is supposed to be, it doesn't look like something's right there. It looks like something's a little bit off. Like, did they meet like when this guy was like 16 or something like that?
I mean, he looked immensely younger than her. I mean, but then again, like, that's also, I mean, I've seen age ranges with people now that don't look their age. Like, it's a relative real thing. Like, there's people who look older and are younger. I've seen plenty of that in real life. So it could be one of those scenarios. Like, you know, it can play into that.
And that's fine. But the fact that they didn't really give too much, like, backstory to that, not that we really needed to know, like, their whole life stories or anything, but, like, just, like, a little bit of information to know what actually happened that would drive the separation, because that separation had a huge impact on the movie's plot.
Yeah, Rocky. Actually, do you want to give a shout out to the artist?
Well, it's not. The Michael Myers is on a tree. He's on my laptop.
Oh, a laptop.
He's on my laptop right here. But the ornaments are from Ronnie V's Boutique. It's all the Universal monsters. So you have the Frankenstein, you have the Wolfman. There's a Creature of the Black Lagoon back in here too. There's a Dracula also, Frankenstein, and Bride of Frankenstein also. But yeah, the Michael Myers almost looks like he's part of it because he's like right here, so he looks like he's an ornament right on the bottom.
And then you got the Invisible Man up there.
Yeah, I can see that
somewhere.
from like the image. How funny.
Yeah, Invisible Man's just hanging.
You can't see him right now.
He's John Cena in the moment.
He's supposed to be invisible.
Exactly. But yeah, so the running time for the movie is 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it feels like they had a lot of time and didn't give enough backstory for certain things. Like, I know I don't like when they overdo backstory, but it is also very rough when they take it light and do these vague like points.
Yeah, I think they did too much prolonged crying scenes, like those intense, you know, trying to find out
those heart-to-heart moments.
Yeah, it was just too much. The crying, but there was not enough tears, like Randall pointed out during the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of crying sounds and faces, but no tears. And it was big moments. Like, technically, it's a moment where you're finding out, like, so in this moment, the mother of one of the kids in this situation is finding out that she had a sister when she was younger, but the sister went missing and is presumed dead. We find out later that she's very dead. But, you know...
She's not dead.
She's finding out all this shit, and then she's finding out that her mom, you know, didn't really leave, and all this stuff that's going on. And this is the only thing you get. What the fuck, Dad?
Yeah, she just got cursed like, what the fuck?
That's it. That's all you got.
What are you on about?
It wasn't a shock reaction either. It wasn't like she was like in shock and couldn't cry. She was trying to make it look like she was crying, but nothing, no waterworks at all.
They didn't have the budget for the fake tears, I guess.
Yeah. You know, no cut to Dad. Drop. Come back. All right. Dad! You know, none of that. You know, they failed to do that. So, I mean, at that point, you can fucking use Visine and make it look real. At that point, you can just go to a pharmacy and buy red eyes. You know, whatever, or clear eyes, right? You can do whatever. But yeah, they were opposed to adding any kind of actual waterworks to these scenes. Look, all in all, I will say it was definitely better than La Llorona. A lot of emptiness when it comes to plot, but what made up for it, if anything, was Mother Krampus's actions, right? Or Frau's actions.
Yeah, Christmassy like.
You know, there's a scene that they're a kid and his aunt running through the woods, right? And then they see like a fire in the middle of the woods, and they're
fire
like, "Hey,
with candlelights."
Yeah, with candles, which is an ideal thing, right?
Campfires, yeah.
So the choice is obviously, you know, go to that fire because it makes sense, logical. Go to the fire and see what's going on, and they look down upon the fire to see like a little grillish kind of thing or whatever, right? To cook on a fire with little gingerbread shaped pieces of something that looks very skin like, right? And yours, yeah, but it could be fucking cookies with red jelly or something like that.
Very runny jelly.
Could be something like that. It could be anything. And then Mother Krampus, Frau, pops up and proceeds to cut more gingerbread cookies out of Aunt in the middle of the woods in front of little nephew. And
makes you think, like, whose cookie cutter is she still? Who's missing a cookie
cutter?
Yeah,
who's missing a couple of pieces?
Just went to the house and let me get that.
And I had a problem with that scene altogether because, like, you just see, like, really slow motion, Frau Percher is like straggling like this girl, like putting like the cookie cutter on her, and then you just see like the little kid like petrified here. No, don't!
Yeah,
somebody help!
Stretched.
And like just like this awkward like looking scene where you can only just imagine like they're just there and he's not doing anything. Just no, help! Don't do that!
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until the slow motion turns around and realizes that he's there was when he doesn't run away, but instead goes to check on the aunt.
Yeah.
And then he gets kidnapped.
Yeah. It was a weird editing they did there too, because you see a flash of her cutting the skin, putting it on the fire.
Oh no, the stick. Remember, like a shish kebab.
Yeah, putting it on the fire.
Like putting like a little weenie, like.
Yeah, and then cuts back to her looking at the kid looking at her. He runs, then cuts back to her eating the skin, then cuts back to her putting the kid in the bag. Cuts back to her. No, not eating the skin. It cuts back to her putting the kid in the bag. Cuts back to her eating the skin, and then goes back to her walking away with the bag.
Yeah,
like finishing tying it up. Without showing, like, the kid could have, I mean, if she stopped to take a quick blue snack break, he could have just, like, climbed out of the bag and been like, fuck this, bitch, I'm out.
Bagging kids is a hard job.
It seems like he decided to be like, okay, you're going to take a meal break. I'm going to, like, chill right here in the bag. I'll wait.
I'll wait for you.
I'll give this a moment. So, yeah, I mean, to me, the only thing that was, I guess, gratifying about that scene was just how they accomplished the cookie cutting scene, like the skin cutting scene. Yeah. It looked well done. You know, the stabbing of the aunt looked well done too. The bleeding out of the eyes thing, everything looked good in that respect. But it definitely stretched a lot longer than it should have. And I think maybe they were like, we have nothing. If not, we're going to end up with like a 50-minute movie. So make this last.
Yeah. Yo, Bucks Champ says, yo. That's Alex.
Yeah, what's up, Alex?
And then the book Abyss. Will, what's up? Nice to see you. I got to hit you up, man. I know it's been a while. Yeah, check it out on Tubi. Tubi.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. And
it's for free. It's yeah, man. It's watch it with somebody if you can. Maybe your son.
Yeah. Don't watch it by yourself. You will hate life if you watch it by yourself.
Get drunk or high, whatever you would like to do. But yeah, do you want to talk about your favorite killing, or do you want to talk about all of them? That's like the best thing about this film.
Yeah, talk about which was your favorite.
The babysitter. So there's a scene where.
Oh yeah, that was a great.
So it was the child of the guy that kept saying everything was a myth, I believe, or urban legend.
Yeah, one of the deniers.
Yeah, so his daughter's being babysat by this so-called, I guess, teenager or whatnot. She looked way older than what they made her out to be.
Yeah, she looked like she was 22, but they're probably making her out to be like 18 or something like that.
So she calls the father saying how long he's going to take because she has something to do. They show the little girl, she's in bed, and she doesn't want to fall asleep. Starts accusing the babysitter, like, oh, you better behave because we're paying you, or I'm going to tell
she was a brat.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my grandparents that, you brought your boyfriend, you locked me up in the closet, and
it gave me a very much Violet from Willy Wonka kind of like idea,
like snotty.
I mean, and UK loves to like be like, let's give us the brat, They tend to always throw in a bratty kid in every movie that relates to kids.
So then the babysitter was like, you know what? Let me read you a bedtime story. The little girl was like, don't give me none of that, I guess, Pocahontas, princess shit. So she started talking about Frau.
We all know
how do you
what-
pronounce? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. What was she trying to, like... I was trying to grasp that.
We all know what really happened in Snow White.
In Snow
Snow White, yeah.
Yeah, no, but she references Snow White, and she goes, "Don't give me that nonsense about her living with 7 men."
Yeah, 7 men.
We all know what really happened. What was she assuming?
I don't know the real backstory for Snow White, honestly.
If she wanted to do
I'm
the
trying to remember the.
But what I got from it is like, her sleeping with 7 men. That's what I took
yeah,
from
that's
it.
what she was. And
what I
not
took
the
from
Grimm
it.
Brothers version of the movie.
Yeah, because I know
story.
these Disney stories.
That's what I was assuming. That's why I'm looking for the
Yeah.
Grimms, because I'm like, okay, if you want to ruin every Disney princess and those storylines for yourself, read the Grimm versions of them, because the Grimm storylines are fucking fantastic, but they are super fucked up. Like, there is a lot of death, bad shit happening in every Grimm story. But they are great, and Disney was like, well, we can't have this person die like that, so let's make it flowers, and rabbits that come up to her and like sit in front of her, and a bird that lands in her hand. Let's make it that, not knife and fucking everywhere. So I would suggest read the Grimm stories because they are fucking great.
Yeah. So
the Cinderella one is great.
Who knows if she meant that or she meant sleeping with 7 men.
I think for me it meant more what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like she was like, what she was doing. That was a full-on bukkake. Like, that was full-on, it's 1 girl, 7 men. Let's do this. Instagram's gonna so ban me.
So she proceeds on telling her the Mother Krampus, legend, and she mentions about you have to be in the mirror, saying her name 3 times, which Randall said like Bloody Mary, but the little girl in the movie said, like Candyman. So
and then Matt goes, oh no, like Beetlejuice. So
but then Ellie said, Beetlejuice, you don't need a fucking mirror, which
that's true.
But yeah, basically it was Bloody Mary, but the girl said Candyman. So they proceed to go into front of a mirror with some candles, say Frau, what's her fucking last name?
Frau
Barbissina.
Barbissina.
That's from fucking Austin Powers.
Yeah,
All right, so I don't know
Nice.
how much you guys know about the German language, but Frau means lady,
lady.
and so Percher is just her name. That's her.
Percher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So,
Percha. or whatever.
So they started saying Frau Percha in the mirror 3 times. Then the candles blow out. They kind of creepy. They leave. The girl looks down or something, looks back. She's in the Mother Krampus is in the background. She screams. Then,
I mean, if you look at Frau Barbissina, she kind of does look like Mother Krampus.
Lol.
Send in the fanbots. But yeah, then Mother Krampus Mother Krampus starts hunting the babysitter and the little girl.
Ooh, there's
Yes.
another Austin Powers reference to that too.
Which one?
Because you never forget a pussy,
Cats.
and it's a bald cat.
Yeah. Bald
It's
kitties.
absolutely a bald cat.
Bald kitties, hairy kitties, we love them all. So yeah, Mother Krampus
Mr.
starts
Bigglesworth.
following the kids, and the way they run into the bedroom, they didn't lock the door. They didn't seem scared, right?
No,
They ran after that. They ran into.
That
they
was
never
not-
seem scared.
That was such a funny moment
Yeah.
because they get into the door, they get into the room. The girl doesn't realize that she didn't close the door all the way, so she just turns around and just pushes the door.
doesn't even lock it. Just pushes that, closes off.
You know exactly what happened in that scene, though, right? It's the kid comes in, she starts walking towards the guy, and the guy behind the goes,
Close the door.
and then the girl's like, "Oh shit," and just like lightly touches it, and
Probably
doesn't really
like
close
a
it.
one shot because they didn't have money for more.
Yeah.
So then they hide in the little closet, and the fucking babysitter, being the adult, the responsible one, sends the little girl out to check if Mother Krampus is outside, and she's like, "No, I need to stay in here." And
It's like, no, I need to keep watch.
in good old karma, Mother Krampus is behind her and does, what she does best, which is ties you up basically either Christmas lights or garlands, and then slits her belly open, which Ellie said
Yeah, because
back in the folk. Yeah.
apparently, like, she's known to be a belly slitter.
The original Frau Percha. That's what the original folklore, they call her the belly slitter because that's what she would do to kids, which seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and this scene they didn't do that bad of a job
Using intestines as tinsel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
so she
great.
stuffed her belly with Christmas lights, sewed it up. Wow, Randall said she was humming, and which actually made a better effect.
Yeah,
to
that gave it the very good the slasher-ish kind of vibe to it, right? With Jason, you always have the whatever, and with Michael, you just have silence, but you have the music.
Mm-hmm.
But you always kind of have something to go along with it. And hers, that humming and the lullabies, every single time she was getting ready to do something that gruesome, just gave it that creepy kind of actual horror movie vibe in that moment. It's just that humming while she's stitching the girl's fucking mouth.
The girl screaming, and she's still
all that was great. Or when we get to the carving scene. So, talking about favorite killing scenes, mine would end up being the Debbie, the other woman.
Ooh, hold up, my bad. So after, let me finish the little part.
Okay, go.
So after her belly is filled with lights, the dad comes home because he's scared something might have happened, and he finds the babysitter, I guess, positioned in Mother Krampus's symbol. Is that her symbol or what?
I think that's supposed to be a Frau symbol, not a
Frau
Krampus
symbol.
Yeah, because remember the only reference it did to anything Krampus was that guy, the one who didn't believe.
Yeah,
he
with
mentioned
that one line.
when in that one line he goes "Oh, you might as well get a pitchfork." You never know. He might be even talking about Krampus.
Oh yeah, Krampus.
Well,
there you go.
no,
But they never really call her Krampus.
they do credit a Krampus.
Yeah, towards the end. Towards the end, right?
Towards the end. That's supposed to be the last voice that we hear.
Yes.
But they never show him.
Yeah, the father arrives home, and he's just in shock. Just keeps looking up on at the house, and it's the babysitter. She's displayed with her belly full of lights and just full on dead. But yeah, go back to Debbie. Go ahead.
This is why, because that's an image of Frau Perchet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
look at the shape.
So
yeah, the shape that they use is basically a vagina.
Yeah.
With full-on fallopian tubes.
Yeah.
So.
Also, wait, the little girl was drawing a vagina in class.
I mean, that's that's what we're assuming, right? But at this point, yeah, the symbol is basically two horns coming out this way, and then something that looks basically like you're looking at a silhouette of vagina with fallopian tubes, full on. That's what it looks like.
1,000%.
So, fun little tidbit there. It's how we're gonna make this more womanly. Let's make it a vagina.
Power.
But
there's a lot of pussy power in this movie.
there is. But yeah, my favorite death scene ends up being Debbie, the other woman. First, she stabs her with a candy cane, which is you always get those jokes when it's somebody sucking a candy cane down to a file, so it looks like a nice little knife. So she uses the candy cane, stabs her in the throat. Somehow the girl continues to survive, and ends up on a table tied up in full BDSM mode.
It was pretty nice to look at. I'm not gonna lie.
It was really well done. It was really well done.
Fun fact, at least favorite position.
So we get to that scene. And there had been a scene previously where this girl, Debbie, was talking about dinner, and she pulled out a carver, an electric carver, and says, "Can we start dinner already?" Immediately, I was like, okay, foreshadowed moment. Yep. We're going to see that be used, and somebody's going to die. And my immediate thing after that, too, was, and it's going to be her. And I was ready to celebrate as soon as I saw her positioned up like, a turkey on a table.
Yep.
Even gave her a little apple to hold on to in her mouth.
Yeah. Well, then that would be more pig-like, right? Like a more
luau kind of thing.
Yeah, more luau kind of pig strapped up on the table. But it was a combination of both,
turkey carving
and pig carving. And then, she starts carving out meat out of her back, which is usually a good tender part, apparently. And throws it in the oven and cooks it. To which that brought Ellie the question, well, how does this lady know how to cook in an oven?
Oh yeah, he turned on the oven.
A modern oven.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be like a creature from the 1800s, and then she's just using technology.
Yep. Absolutely.
She's adapted to the world every time she kills. I don't know. Who knows?
But I thought it was really well executed. Putting her on the table the way she was carving, even though you don't get close-ups of the carving, you get close-ups of the chunks of meat she's just carving out of her, being thrown into like a cooking dish. And I thought it was a really good kill. That was really well done. I think maybe because of the way it was orchestrated.
Yeah.
Ellie, your favorite killing?
Is that those two were the best killings of the whole movie. every other death scene just made me want to bash my own head in. Like,
which one? Okay, you could say talk about maybe the one you hated the most.
Yeah, which is the worst one?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think the worst one had to been Wilden, the ex-husband guy, just because it doesn't look like he reacted. Like he just stood there with Frau Percher, freaking like Indiana Jones's like his heart out, and then he just accepts life.
Yeah, he just
as
stood
what
there,
it is.
He just wobbled a little bit like.
I mean, it looked like he was trying to commit a form of suicide at that point, right?
Oh,
because
true.
He had swung an axe into a door, and he pulled out the axe, and it ended up being bloody. He at that point realized he either killed his ex-wife or his daughter. He killed somebody that's in that fucking room, without intentionally doing it. Turns and looks at Frau and says, "You know what?
Do it.
I fucked up. I think I need to die."
But he doesn't even check. Like,
yeah, none of that.
Like the thing that I can't remember which one of you said it. He doesn't even kick down the door. He uses the axe first, and when all he sees is blood.
Put that back.
And something that like really annoyed me about that whole thing was like how that scene first happens is that he wakes up from like being knocked out. Because Frau Percher wraps him up in Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
And he wakes up as if he just experienced a flashbang. We see, like, all, like, those wavy motions coming out. Like, he's not really tied up, so, like...
Sorry, technical difficulties.
A lot of
it's going up and down.
Yeah, these levels are...
So,
send me a copy of that.
yeah, send a copy of that detailed report.
Okay.
So, like he wakes up from the flashbang. It makes it sound like it makes it look like he can't hear, except for the ringing that's happening every time that we see like his perspective.
Okay, wait a minute. Would that be because if you get choked, you tend to like kind of go into kind of a shaky.
I mean, I've never been choked. I've choked, but I don't know. I've never been on that end.
I don't know. I haven't had that kind of a complaint yet.
The only reason I would know is from jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not going to make that go anywhere near something pervasive.
So when you roll, you say harder, daddy, what?
Yeah. Yeah, so in the grappling moments when I was getting... This is going to sound so terrible. When I was getting put into a rear naked chokehold...
Or triangle, I guess you could say.
It wasn't a triangle because I remember it was a rear naked chokehold. That's why I'm being very specific. I do remember coming out of it in a haze. Not as drastic as they did it in this. Because in this one, they made it look almost psychedelic, right? Because there was a lot of weird colored lights and shit like that. And there is like a slight flash of like colors in that moment, but nothing as drastic with this. It seemed like they just got a kaleidoscope and went in front of the camera. So that was weird, but I would assume their intent there would be that since he was coming out of that, basically almost dead, choked out.
Trying to see his perspective, maybe? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. It was really weird because it's not like she drugged the meat. She force fed him Debbie. Right?
He vomited like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and
like carrots, peas, and everything.
But yeah, like Ellie was saying about that ringing sound. I get it. Maybe he was probably the only one hearing it, but it was so annoying for us viewers. It was just super loud as hell.
Yeah, so like that doesn't like that's why like at least in my perspective, that whole like scene didn't really make too much sense, like because he didn't hear, like at least from what it sounds like, when we see things from the other side of the door, everything like sounds normal and everything. It's only from when it's his perspective when we get that weird ringing sound and like that like muffled like talking or whatever.
Yeah,
And it doesn't really look that as soon as he puts like the axe through the door that he really like comes out of that. All we hear is him yelling out Vanessa, and then he just slams the door with the axe, just assumes that he hit one of them. I guess he thinks that he had hit Vanessa, and now he thinks that he has no pussy in his life to have. So therefore, that just means, all right, fuck my daughter. I'm gonna go kill myself. Like, I don't know, that whole bit annoyed me so much.
I mean, even the bit prior to that, which was the quickest forgiveness for somebody leaving and cheating and having a 2-month relationship, outside of the wedding or the marriage. The quickest forgiveness, which took like maybe a minute of an apology, and then they were already kissing, while
I never stopped loving you.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So,
like, man, that was a.
So he got Phantom of the Opera, like half burnt, just saying, "I'm gonna be the best husband in the world." Everything's gonna be fine, and she's eating it all up. She's like, "Yes, you better be for that fucking person.
You better fucking be."
Yeah, you better fucking be." And they're like all kissing. He's, just flesh is just burning and everywhere. There was a good one too. The grandpa. Which I think they got this from not Scary Movie, Scream. Scary Movie played, parody of it. So Frau just points to the shutters, and it opens.
Automatically.
And the grandpa's outside in a chair tied up with Christmas lights, and this one little Christmas light wire on his mouth, and he can't speak.
Yep. Apparently that was enough to shut him up. Probably would have been good for him to shut up the whole movie. But it was really awkwardly done. And I don't think I care. I don't think I care about spoiling this movie.
I mean, we already talked a lot about what happens in the movie.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like spoiling like full on twists.
Oh, the lady?
Yeah,
I see.
And I think I don't care with this movie. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I don't care about spoiling this part, so fuck it. So we end up finding out that, the reason this thing gets problematic with the Frau and her saying that she's trying to protect the kids, we immediately started kind of getting the vibe, like almost like halfway through the movie, that maybe they just killed an innocent woman.
Yeah.
But without kind of knowing, she's already saying like you're, in one of the cut scenes where they're showing the hanging, she's like, you're making a grave mistake.
The evil's still out there.
So immediately I'm like, okay, and again, I referenced this when we saw the hanging, and that's what I was saying. I wanted to go back and see who the fuck cut her belly.
True.
Because when Molly got hung, what happened to her while she was hung is somebody came up and slit her belly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she didn't even officially die via the hanging.
Yeah. So somebody slit her belly, which is what led to Ellie start becoming, or creating theories of the possibility of one of the people being actually more in tune with Frau because, the belly slitting.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting little tidbit there, but it ended up not connecting there, but it could have theoretically been that, which would have been a great little twist to it too. Yeah. But they connect. I mean, I guess that was in a way given an homage to Frau Pritchett, right? Mm-hmm. The belly slitting in a way, because
true.
I guess yeah.
In a lot of ways, they did that. But we end up finding out that they ended up killing an innocent woman who chanted the summoning of Frau, or Frau Pritchett, and the real killer of all those kids was amongst them all the whole time.
It's right in our faces the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was.
And man, that twist was definitely one heck of a twist once they went further down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, it got really weird.
Mm-hmm.
It got really weird.
I needed to protect your secret. I loved you.
I mean, I don't know how deep it. I mean, how deep was the love? If even after protecting the secret to that level, you still run her out of the house.
Yeah, run her out to the point and even lie to your own kids, say, "Oh, she left us."
Yeah, yeah. So that was really confusing at that point. Now that I'm thinking about it, because what ends up happening is the dad, the old man, his name is Alfie.
Yeah, we have two sets of parents. We have the younger parents of the little girl, and then we have the older adults who all were alive, experiencing things that had happened with the Molly character in 1992.
Yeah. So Alfie always had the secret that the daughter had a sister. So she always thought she was an only child, and she always believed that her mom had left them. To find out that she, in the end, had a sister that went missing. The blame on that went into Molly. They blamed Molly for the disappearance of their own child. Turns out, no. The mom, which I think her name was Leslie, right?
Yeah, Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie was in fact the actual child murderer and was killing kids in the town. And to protect her secret, Alfie killed his eldest daughter and buried her in the backyard. And then took off her bracelet.
Yeah, so that seemed that, they were the only family with,
with children that were not harmed by the child murderer. So to not implicate themselves as, the participants in the killings, one of our own had to go. So he did that, and while shouting to the top of his lungs, "I love you. I did it for you."
It took some balls to do that, man.
It takes a lot, to do something that extreme. But again, then it goes to my point. So you loved her enough to kill your own child, but not enough to keep her there. She wasn't harming your own kids, so it wasn't like she was killing, within the household. So there was nothing really to fear to that degree, right? Unless he was like, well, she might actually go psycho enough to kill our other daughter. I don't know. It just plays out weird, right?
Again,
it makes it like a senseless killing.
Too vague of a backstory, not enough backstory to truly explain what's going on with these people. Again, we do not need to know their whole life stories. I don't need to know what happened in this old lady's childhood that made her some sort of psychopathic child murderer, but at least just to kind of all right, who was the first child, maybe? Or when did all of this start? When did he realize that she was the one that did it? There was all super confusing little bits finding during the whole twist.
Yeah.
Another confusing thing which you guys brought up earlier during the movie.
Yeah.
For me, the whole time, Frau.
Farbissa?
I can't pronounce the last name of Frau. Was a child killer, but then in this movie they made it out to be that she was protecting the kids from the parents.
Yes.
She was I guess sending them somewhere.
To a degree, because we don't know exactly where it was leading to after that.
Exactly.
She was taking the kids away from the town, but she also ended up killing a bunch of people that were completely innocent to everything, because there was no reason to kill the daughter that was ultimately the main centerpiece of the movie, Amy. There was no reason to kill Amy's parents.
But remember in the church, there was a lady that said I had nothing to do with it, but she's like, "Oh, your grandma did."
I know the bloodline, the
yeah.
bloodline thing, but then the grandfather was still alive, Alfie was still alive, and so was the mother. So why would they go to the, why would they do it to the daughter and then still kill?
Or why kill Debbie? Why try to attack her when she had almost nothing, had no connection to that part of the family?
Killing spree, I don't know.
Yeah.
So fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, they lost a lot of things there. But all in all, this movie was, to say, enjoyable watching it with people. I can see myself hating it watching it alone. I can see myself being like, yo, what the fuck is it?
I think I would have turned this thing off if I
Yeah, it was one of those kind of things. But if you're just looking for, some fun killings, some nice little gory details, this movie provides some of that. Enough to cover, a lot of the bad areas. But it definitely could have been handled better with the casting department, because a lot of actors didn't put the right energy in moments. Like when you were talking about the father that was trying to phone his house, trying to figure out why they weren't picking up. It didn't seem like, even before he got out of his car to see the thing, while he was driving home, he wasn't showing the energy of somebody who would be worried about their daughter.
Yeah, just casually
Should I
driving.
call again?
Or even when Amy's mom was trying to escape, the moment of Frau chasing around or whatever, she runs out of the house, leaving her daughter inside the house alone. So, a lot of weird things. She goes and she sees her dad and starts talking to her dad for 5 minutes, completely ignoring that there's a killer inside the house with her daughter. Again.
And then leaves him by himself.
Yep.
Vulnerable with nothing.
Yep. But, again, fun to watch and joke about and talk shit about. That's what I would say. At least.
Oh, we didn't talk about the best part of the movie. The weapons.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Gift wrapping paper wrapped in Christmas lights. Suit up, guys.
No guns, nothing.
The other detail about that whole entire scene, or not that scene alone, but every scene that had Christmas lights, it didn't matter where they were located. For some reason, they were always already on. There was Christmas lights in the fucking closet.
The kid's bike in the woods.
And when
how was that on? They use a USB.
I mean, something.
And even when when Alfie was opening up some chest somewhere, the Christmas lights were in there.
Yeah,
they were on.
That's where all the weapons were, and all the Christmas lights were already on.
Which made you think these Christmas lights would have some effect towards the witch, but it didn't.
No, there was nothing. There was no reason for it. But again, it was.
She actually used them all.
Yeah.
She was just oh, yay, free weapons for me.
Yeah. Yeah, she used
free real estate.
In the closet. She used the Christmas lights to tie up the babysitter, and then shoved them into her stomach. She used the Christmas lights from the weapons
for the grandpa, the
Wilden.
Yeah,
every single one of them. And then I kept on saying I don't know if it was supposed to be sticks or gift roll, but because I was I saw something that looked like a hole. Okay, so either they fucked up and misangled the camera and showed that the fucking stick is hollow, or they're literally using gift wrap. And then there was a nice little close-up scene where you see the Happy Holidays.
Yeah, you paused at the right moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, gift wrapping roll is a lot of paper, but I don't know how much it's gonna do to save your life when you have a killer inside your house.
Who knows how to use the Force?
Oh yeah, she used the Force in this Force chokehold. But I mean, how many superpowers did she use? But her worst superpower was searching.
Speaking about choking, the choking were prolonged too, and they didn't do anything. She didn't kill anybody while choking them. The Force choke did nothing.
I wonder if that was also a callback to Molly though, because Molly didn't die from the rope.
The hanging, yeah.
So she was here, you're gonna feel a little bit of this.
A little burn sensation.
You're gonna get a little David Carradine, but it's not gonna go full on. Not too much?
Oh, Bill. No, it's not too much. A little harder. But yeah, overall.
Rest in peace, David Carradine. I love you.
You want to do the rating?
Yeah, let's jump to the rating. Ellie, you go first.
Oh man, we're doing this out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, from 1 to 10.
Okay.
Lowest is a 1, highest is a 10.
All right. 2.5 candy canes.
Ooh.
Oh, I like candy canes. Okay.
Okay.
So, no Santa suit. that low key irritated me throughout the whole time. Like, no, we see in the cover that she's wearing a Santa suit, and there is no Santa suit. Also, in the folklore, she's supposed to have a sickle, and she never uses a sickle in the movie.
Yeah.
So that was also low key annoying. But I mean, there's only so much that you can do with only one take. But
Yep.
or at least that's how it felt. So I don't know. It was entertaining enough. Especially like how, like you said, how the review said, like with you guys, it made the movie a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Especially like to find like stupid little things like happening throughout the movie. But yeah, it was very interesting to learn about. I had never heard about Frau Percher before this movie. I didn't even know that there was like any other type of witchy character in that folklore like that would also end up being like a holiday like folklore thing.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. So I give it 2.5 candy canes for letting me learn something new. But no Santa suit.
It's a big disgrace.
Yeah.
My rating probably a 2, even 2. I was gonna go for the 1, but it was actually more entertaining than the previous movies we've watched recently. It had things going for itself. Yeah, it executedly. Wait, what?
Executed.
It was executed in a bad way. Yeah, sorry.
Executed poorly.
Like these words. Like I said, the killings were alright. Not the best, but creative. You know, Christmas themed. Again, like Ellie said, the Mother Krampus look. To me, it just looked like a homeless lady, you know, wanting kids for some reason.
Had Major jaundice eye.
Yeah, I think the whole candy lure was pretty good at the beginning. So if she would have kept it going on, it kind of probably felt repetitive, but I guess that could have been her style. I guess halfway through the movie, I was just tired of it. I was just like waiting for everything to happen. Again, like I said, watching it with Randall and Ellie made it 10 times better than what it actually goes for. But yeah, definitely check it out on Tubi if you want to, you know, have more pain in your life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Randall, go ahead.
I'm probably gonna go higher at both of you. I'm going to 3.5. Only because I did enjoy enough of the killing scenes, and I think it is that whole vibe that I enjoyed it more because we were able to like discuss it and talk about it. So I think a movie that triggers that kind of shit sometimes, if it's not like the Santa Claus, you know, if it's not like that where it's like, listen, even if we make fun of this, it does not make up to how bad of a movie it is. This one still, even being a bad movie, badly acted, and not executed correctly, still managed enough to entertain me with conversation and topics to discuss. Like, it still dragged me to like be like, okay, the low energy was fucking hilarious to me. Like, you know, the fact that they were talking, Dad, do you mean I had a sister? What the fuck, Dad? Like, okay, like all that low energy it triggered that like an entertainment value to it, you know. Kind of go back to like The Room, right? The Room, I would probably give The Room like a fucking 8 because of how entertaining it is to talk about how bad that movie is.
Room's a 10 out of 10. Don't even lie.
It's true. Like when I first saw that movie, I could not stop laughing. It was so fantastically amazing. But it's like one of those situations where a movie is bad enough to where it brings entertainment value. And I even talked about it after, where I can see a movie like this having some kind of cult attachment because of the bad acting and whatever. And we've seen that happen with so many movies before. You know, we see bad movies get that kind of cult following because they're bad enough. So I think this lies right in that spot where it's still a bad movie that deserves a low review, but it's not going to be an empty zero or some shit that bad because it still stirs some shit to it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I landed at a 3.5. Plus, I really enjoyed the cookie cutting scene. Like, I don't know why, but that whole concept of, you know, her literally grabbing the cookie cutter and being like right into her back, pulling it out, and then grabbing it out like that, and you see floppy skin, bloody, and lay into a nice little, you know, marshmallow skewer, and just lay it upon the fire, and then just... Another thing that I wanted to point out, why did it seem like that lady was constantly having orgasms?
Who?
Every time that she was taking
Every
a
time
bite.
she was doing anything. No, she licked the axe.
Yo, she put her mouth on at least 20 things in the movie.
Yeah. That is one of the most interesting facts about this, is she likes to put things in her mouth.
Caress kids' faces.
You know?
Oh, man.
She put a lot of things in her mouth. But every single time, it was almost like an orgasmic reaction. Like, she licked blood. She licked the axe. She licked some skin. Like, every single time, it was just that eyes rolled to the back of the head. The mouth was like, oh, yes. Constantly. So, you know, I guess there's some kind of, you know, sexual pleasing to those actions.
She really likes that iron.
Yeah.
Again, taking it back to David. So. Possibly.
Yep. But, okay, so, would say enjoyable to watch with people. I would definitely say watch it with people. Because I don't even know if being high would help in this movie. I think it's more a conversation piece.
Yeah.
Than anything else.
I agree with that.
It's not like it has trippy moments or anything that, except, you know, the weird choke recovery moment. But, you know, go to Tubi and check it out. And eventually we'll have to watch part 2 and experience what the horrors of part 2 is. Because on one end, there's reviews that say it's better than part 1. But then I found other reviews that say the opposite. And that's always interesting. That's always going to be a little interesting. So in our last review when we had Mike, I did ask a question. Yeah. And I feel like I should ask Ellie just in case too. Year's coming to an end. We've spoken about...
You're in a corner. Danger's about to happen.
Yeah. We've all had a share of like tough year since 2020, since COVID even hit. All that stuff. It's been rough, but you know, a lot of this year has been about getting better and everyone kind of like trying to rise up from the ashes, like the phoenix, because I have to use cliche terminology. So with this year coming to a close, like, what in a sense are you like thankful for in the moment, and what, you know, what is your, you know, wish right now that you would want currently in the climate and the environment that we're in?
All eyes on you, Ellie. No, I'm playing.
I truly right now, because of everything that has happened, to the events that I've experienced, not only with last year but also with this year, I am honestly thankful for the connections that I still have, because honestly, truly, it really shows that, you know, it doesn't, you know, knowing for someone for a certain amount of years, knowing for someone because, you know, you experience like the same like sort of trauma like together, like, you know, it really just boils down to how genuine like the connection really is. And I think I've experienced like now, especially towards the end of the year, the connections that I still have probably been the most genuine connections that I've had yet. And that's probably one of the most things that I'm very thankful for. I'm also thankful for good health, because a lot of us have experienced like a lot of really crazy things for the past couple of years. So I'm very, very thankful for all of us that we still have our good health. And just if anything, I just wish for people to remember those people that they don't really think about too much. They always say check on the strongest person that you know, because you never know what they're going through. But really, you should check on anyone that you really love most. You don't know what anyone is going through. And so, I guess a little bit more of just being mindful of like what other people are going through. Because you never really know. Everyone is stuck in their own world. Mm-hmm. That sometimes you're blinded to see the world around you, and that maybe what you're experiencing is not as rough as what someone next to you is experiencing. So, I just wish that for more people to be mindful of that.
Yeah, definitely could not agree any more. Strong, powerful words there, and it's literally what we've said on here. It's the significance of this, the fun that we do here with this review. It's all about mental health and reaching out and helping one another. All our, friends that follow up with us and everything like that. It's been a great connection. Again, great people to have around. And that's why I always say one of the biggest pleasures of the last few years is meeting Mac. One of following up with meeting Eddie too. Ellie has been fucking fantastic ever since I met her too. And there's been plenty of people that have entered into our lives, each one another, and realizing the connections and realizing the climate we're in and the state of the world and all that stuff. And in the end, you only have those people around you that care and bother to ask, how are you doing? So that's all it takes. One fucking question. How are you doing?
You'd be surprised how just that one text or just that one question can really uplift a person. Yep. To let them realize, there's someone that actually recognizes that I'm here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think we got to close out with that because that was just too great right there. So with that, we're going to head out. We'll figure out and we'll probably post if we're going to do something else before Christmas Day. If not, we'll probably do it shortly after Christmas Day or something like that. We'll figure something out. We want to try and do a few more holiday movies and do stuff like that because, it's always fun to do that. Is there anything New Year's related?
Oh, thank you, Will. Appreciate for you sticking around.
Is there any New Year's horror movies?
New Year's?
There has to be one.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure.
We have to do one for New Year's. But I want to do more of these Christmas ones. I definitely want to do more Krampus. I definitely want to do
Legit
more
Krampus.
Find all the Krampus movies.
I mean, and remember, so the movie's called Rare Exports. That's one that I want to do. Rare Exports, which is like a holiday-themed movie. And it has to do with like a group of explorers trying to find out like little things about, I guess, the mythology behind Christmas things and trying to find things that connect, and it relates to like Krampus and all these other things too. So, and it seems like it's very highly reviewed. So, a lot better than what this was reviewed.
Yeah.
And this was somewhat enjoyable. So, definitely would be fun to check that out. But we'll try and do more coming up soon, and we'll keep you guys posted. I'm definitely gonna start putting up the post for the giveaways because we are inching closer. And I want to make sure that that once we're at that point, we already have people noticing that we are going to do a giveaway, which is going to include the horrendous DVD that is Santa Claus.
The amazing trilogy.
The amazing fucking trilogy that is.
La Llorona.
Yeah, we need 9 more people.
And we're definitely going to throw in some things that are for fun. But what Max said is an interesting point to keep in mind, which is the DVD of the Santa Claus actually has value to it. As terrible as the movie is, so we're actually giving you something that has value to it. But there is going to be other things that are fun. There's a little thing that I already talked to Mac about that I'm going to probably do for the gift package too. I'm going to keep that a secret until it's time to unveil the full giveaway prize. But a lot of things are going to be in there for whoever wins this, and we're going to try and make it fun and try and make it for milestone moments.
Exactly.
Until we reach points where we're able to do it for maybe events or something like that. Like maybe for next Christmas we can have a Christmas giveaway, things like that.
Yeah. Just because you see those two shitty movies are on the giveaway.
Yeah.
That's not, that's not the end of it. That's just what you see.
Just because we're trying to pass on our pain.
Yeah.
But
again,
Remember,
like Randall, go ahead.
They're reviewing these movies, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
So again, like Randall said, we need just 9 more people to follow us. I think we're at 91 followers.
Yep.
Just share. If you have multiple accounts, sure, follow us there. And just get to the 100 so we can start doing the giveaway announcements and whatnot.
Yep.
Again, thank you everybody for sticking around. Again, this is just started with just friends wanting to do something to distract themselves and just be ourselves, whether we're good at it or not, doesn't fucking matter. Because we're having fun, whether we get information correctly or incorrectly, we'll admit to it.
Yeah.
Like our last review.
Like believing that Mexico was in South America.
Exactly. So shit like that,
I was tired, okay? I was tired. I heard the statement made, and I was like, that's true. It is in South America. And then I was like, you know what? Why does that feel weird? Let me look this up. And I messaged Mac, was like, Mac, we fucked up, dude.
That's why I was like,
Mexico's
shit.
actually part of North America, man.
That's why I was like, naturally I didn't fucking know, so I don't care about that.
Now
now I know.
What's on the shirts?
Yeah.
So
I have a Christmas
Yes.
sweater of Captain Picard saying, "Let it snow."
Yep.
Randall's
Make it
beautiful.
snow, make it snow.
Randall's beautiful tie. Stand up for the people.
I have every Batman, and I'm wearing a nice little Christmas bow tie for every Batman. Show my boobs.
Yeah.
Boobies.
We got the TMNT, I guess, Christmas hat with
Yeah.
a cuff law
Yeah.
on it. But thank you guys, everybody, for staying, always, supporting us, viewing us. This has been another Ram Film Review.
And remember to check out Ellie's Instagram. I'm going to tag her on here. I'm going to tag that hybrid tile because I want more people to check out her art stuff too, and then she can lead you to the other stuff that she does with the thrifting. So she finds a lot of awesome things that, you guys might want to add to your collections. A lot of what we all do is going out and finding these things that either nostalgic or even new retro shit that they make, and then we offer you guys a chance to get it without having to look for it everywhere. So we do that job. We do the job of hunting and digging into dirty places, clean things up, and make sure that they are available for you guys to enjoy and add to your collections of memories or new shit. Because there's a lot of new shit too. But just check it out. Like I said, I'm gonna tag her. Check out her mosaic art. It's fucking beautiful shit. She's going to be doing Pokemon balls too, which have been really taken by a lot of people. They enjoy the Pokeballs a lot. Yeah. She's gotten requests for specific type of Pokeballs too. So if you guys have any kind of specific requests to actual Pokeballs in the Pokemon universe, she can definitely tackle on something, And, if you guys are looking for an Ultra Ball or some shit, you never know. There could be some fun stuff there that she can go ahead and push herself harder with other things that just, make her get better and better and better and better than she already is.
Oh, yeah. I'm always down for a challenge.
Yeah. So don't forget that. I'll tag it on the description so you guys don't miss out, and give her a follow because it is absolutely amazing stuff. So with that, we're going to head out of here, and hopefully we'll be back soon. Thank you again for joining us, everyone who stayed on with the live, and anybody who watches this later. We love you all. Thank you, and keep that mind strong.
Stay black, y'all.
Wakanda forever.